Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 6, Sankhya Yoga, text number 47. Yoginamapi sarvesham madgatenantaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yuktatamo mataha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. And of all yogis, he who always abides in me with great faith, worshipping me in transcendental loving service, is most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The word bhajate, bhajete is significant here. Bhajete has its root in the verb bhaj, which is used when there is need of service. The English word worship cannot be used in the same sense as bhaja. Worship means to adore or to show respect and honor to the worthy one. But service with love and faith is especially meant for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One can avoid worshipping a respectable man or a demigod and may be called discourteous. But one cannot avoid serving the Supreme Lord without being thoroughly condemned. Every living entity is part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus every living entity is intended to serve the Supreme Lord by his own constitution. Failing to do this, he falls down. The Bhagavatam confirms this as follows. Ya esham purusham sakshat atma prabhavam ishwaram na bhajantyavajananti sthanat bhrishta patantyadaha. Anyone who does not render service and neglects his duty unto the primeval Lord, who is the source of all living entities, will certainly fall down from his constitutional position. In this verse also the word bhajanti is used. Therefore, bhajanti is applicable to the Supreme Lord only, whereas the word worship can be applied to demigods or to any other common living entity. The word avajananti used in this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam is also found in the Bhagavad Gita. Avajananti mam modaha. Only the fools and rascals deride the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. Such fools take it upon themselves to write commentaries on the Bhagavad Gita without an attitude of service to the Lord. Consequently, they cannot properly distinguish between the word bhajanti and the word worship. The culmination of all kinds of yoga practices lies in Bhakti Yoga. All other yogas are but means to come to the point of bhakti in Bhakti Yoga. Yoga actually means Bhakti Yoga. All other yogas are progressions toward the destination of Bhakti Yoga. From the beginning of Karma Yoga to the end of Bhakti Yoga is a long way to self-realization. Karma Yoga without fruitive results is the beginning of this path. When Karma Yoga increases in knowledge and renunciation, the stage is called Jnana Yoga. When Jnana Yoga increases in meditation on the Supersoul by different physical processes and the mind is on him, it is called Ashtanga Yoga. and when one surpasses the Ashtanga Yoga and comes to the point of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, it is called Bhakti Yoga, the culmination. Factually, Bhakti Yoga is the ultimate goal, but to analyze Bhakti Yoga minutely, one has to understand these other yogas. The yogi who is progressive is therefore on the true path of eternal good fortune. One who sticks to a particular point and does not make further progress is called by that particular name. Karma Yogi, Jnana Yogi or Dhyana Yogi, Raja Yogi, Hatha Yogi, etc. If one is fortunate enough to come to the point of Bhakti Yoga, it is to be understood that he has surpassed all the other yogas. Therefore, to become Krishna conscious is the highest stage of yoga, just as when we speak of Himalayan, we refer to the world's highest mountains, of which the highest peak, Mount Everest, is considered to be the culmination. It is by great fortune that one comes to Krishna consciousness on the path of Bhakti Yoga to become well situated according to the Vedic direction. The ideal yogi concentrates his attention on Krishna, who is called Shyama Sundara, who is as beautifully colored as a cloud, whose lotus-like face is as effulgent as the sun, whose dress is brilliant with jewels and whose body is flower garlanded. Illuminating all sides is his gorgeous luster, which is called the Brahmajyoti. He incarnates in different forms such as Rama, Nrsimha, Varaha, and Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he descends like a human being as the son of Mother Yashoda, and he is known as Krishna, Govinda, and Vasudeva. He is the perfect child, husband, friend, and master, and he is full with all opulences and transcendental qualities. If one remains fully conscious of these features of the Lord, he is called the highest yogi. This stage of highest perfection in yoga can be attained only by Bhakti Yoga, as is confirmed in all Vedic literature. Yasya deve para bhaktir yatha deve tatha guru. Tasyete katita hyartha prakashante mahatmanaha. Only unto those great souls who have implicit faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master are all the imports of Vedic knowledge automatically revealed. Bhakti rasya bhajanam tadiha mutropadi nairasyena mushmin manaha kalpanam etad eva naishkarmyam. Bhakti means devotional service to the Lord, which is free from desire for material profit either in this life or in the next. Devoid of such inclinations, one should fully absorb the mind in the Supreme. That is the purpose of Naishkramya. These are some of the means for performance of Bhakti or Krishna consciousness, the highest perfectional stage of the yoga system. The sense Bhaktivedanta.
So, we have been discussing Bhagavad Gita. In second chapter, the Lord has very elaborately explained the constitutional position of the living entity. And the whole first portion of the 6 chapters, the Bhagavad Gita, is divided into 3 portions. The first 6 chapters, the second 6 chapters, and the third 6 chapters. Actually, just like this book, there are 2 hard covers, and in the middle there is the substance, writing. So the first 6 chapters, they are just like 2 covering, Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. And the middle 6 chapters, well protected, that is Bhakti Yoga. So at the end of the first 6 chapters, Krishna concludes the yoga system. In the 6th chapter, he has explained the Sankhya Yoga system, and the concluding portion of the Sankhya Yoga system is Yoginam api sarvesham madgata antaratmana sadhyavan bhajati jomang samiyuktatamo. This is the conclusion of the yoga system. People generally, they are attracted by the yoga system. So, the yoga system means always thinking of Krishna. That is samadhi. So, 5,000 years ago, when $5,000 years ago, when this yoga system was discussed between Krishna and Arjuna, Arjuna frankly admitted that this system was very difficult for him. He thought himself as a grihastha and a military man, so concentration of the mind and sitting in a posture and looking on the point of the nose, so many systems. Find out a secluded place alone and observing so many rules and regulations, asana, dhyan, dharana, pranayam. So he thought it difficult for him. Therefore, Krishna, in order to encourage him, that although he could not practice the Ashtanga Yoga system, still there was no cause of disappointment. He concluded therefore, tapasibha diko yogi jnani ho api matodhika karmibhya diko yogi tasmad yogi bhavar. He insisted. Why you are sitting like that? Sleeping? No. You'll be feel sleepy, don't sit like that. So the conclusion is, yoginam api sarvesam madgata antaratmana sadhyavan bhajati jomang sami juktutamo. This is the conclusion. That of all yogis, who is always thinking of me, sadhyavan, without being sadhavan. Sadha is the beginning of everything. Faith, sadha, respect. If you have no respect for Krishna, if you have no faith in Krishna, there is no advancement of spiritual life or yoga life. Therefore it is said, sadhava. Ado sadhya. The beginning of spiritual life is shraddha, faith. Ado sadhya. Ado sadhya tato sadhu sangha. First of all, faith. And faith has been described by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami as faith means Vishwas. So he explains Saddha Sabde Vishwas Sudhira Nishcha. Sudhira Nishcha. Krishne Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Kritaha. This is the Shraddha. Shraddha means firm faith. As Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam vraja. So unless one has got faith, why one should consider himself that I must be completely surrendered to Krishna? Unless one has got faith. Therefore faith is the beginning. And to create faith, Krishna has explained about himself in the whole Bhagavad Gita. So one who is fortunate, after reading Bhagavad Gita thoroughly, he will have a strong faith in Krishna. If you have failed to achieve this status of faith, then there is no question of progress. That is explained by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Shraddha Sabde Vishwas Sudhira Nishcha. Shraddha means firm faith with conviction. Yes, if I surrender to Krishna, then all my business will be perfect. All my spiritual life will be perfect. Therefore Krishna said, Shraddhavan bhajati, with Shraddha, with full faith. Ado Shraddha, beginning is Shraddha. If one has developed a little Shraddha, just like we are giving chance throughout the whole world, by this propaganda, opening centers, to create little Shraddha. And if the Shraddha is there, then next stage is Sadhu Sangha. If one wants to become Krishna conscious, if he has developed a little faith in it, the next stage is to associate with sadhu. And who is sadhu? Sadhu, sadhava, sadhu bhusana, titikshava, karunika, srida, sarva bhutanam. So, sadhu means very tolerant. And in another place, sadhu is described in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhajate mam ananya bhav, sadhurev samant. Apiche sudurachara, bhajate mam ananya bhav, sadhurev samant. In another place in the Bhagavad, the sadhu is described. Titikshava karunika, surida sarva bhutanam, ajata sattva shanta sadhava sadhu bhusana. A sadhu, the first qualification is he must be a staunch devotee of Krishna or God, whatever you say. That is sadhu. That is the basic thing. That religion means to abide by the orders of God. That is religion. And sadhu means who is staunchly a devotee of Krishna. These are the description of sadhu. Therefore, sadhu sangha means to associate with devotees. Those who are devotees of Krishna. That is sadhu sangha. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in another place says, sadhu sangha, sarva shastre kaya, lavamatra sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha, sarva shastre, lavamatra sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi ha. Sadhu sangha is very important. If we can associate with real sadhu, means real devotee, unadulterated devotee, anna vilasita sunnam jnana karmadhanamritam, then the recommendation is that simply by associating with sadhu, all perfection will come. By simply association. Sadhu sangha, sarva shastre kaya, lavamatra sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi. So, this is very practical. We have got little experience how sadhu sangha is part. So, adu saddha tato sadhu sangha. First thing is faith. Adu sadhya tathu sadhu sangha tata bhajala kriya ata anartha nivitti syat tato nishtha tato ruchi tatha shakti tato bhava sadhukanam ayang premna pradurбhavi bhavet krama. These are the steps. Krama. Krama means one after another. So, our this Krishna consciousness movement is an attempt just to create little faith in Krishna. Then the person whom we are trying to help, his business is to associate with sadhu. Satang prasangad mama bija sangvida. Ritkarna rasana katha. Satang prasangad. If we discuss Krishna consciousness, bodhayantang parasparam, dushanti cha ravanti cha. Everywhere the same thing. So, the Shraddha is required, then Sadhu Sangha, then Bhajana Kriya. If anyone actually, seriously associate with Sadhu, the next stage will be Bhajana Kriya. How to worship? Bhajana Kriya. Tata anartha nivittisya. Then anartha. Anartha means unnecessary things. We have practiced so many unnecessary things in our life. That are unnecessary things, when they are too much strong, that becomes sinful life, unnecessary. The modern civilization is simply meant for creating unnecessary necessities of life. So we are becoming deviated from God. The more we are advancing in so-called material civilization, we are more becoming far away from God. Therefore, Bhaktivedanta Thakur has sung, Jaro vidya sa mayar boibhav, tomar bhajane badha. Jaro vidya, the material education, they are simply paraphernalia of this illusory energy, mayar boibhav. And the effect of this advancement of material civilization means stopping one's relationship with God. Jaro vidya sa mayar boibhav, tobar bhajane badha. Anitya sangsare. Anitya means this temporary life. This everyone, we are in this material world, say for 50 years, 60 years, 100 years. That is temporary. In the unlimited time, a duration of life, say of 100 years, that is nothing, even not even a point. It is very temporary. But in this temporary life, we are addicted to so many unnecessary things, and we are forgetting our real business, how to go to home, back to God. Therefore, Bhaktivedanta Thakur laments. He was a great responsible government officer, magistrate, but a great devotee of the Lord. And he is one of the acharyas, Bhaktivedanta Thakur. So he writes about his own experience. So, Jaro vidya sa mayar boibhav tomar bhajane badha. The more we make advancement in the temporary materialistic comforts, the more we become implicated in unnecessary things, and they are all impediments for making progress in spiritual life. That is his opinion, and that's a fact. We have seen in Western countries, they are still more materially advanced, but spiritually they are dull, blockheaded, spiritually. Very difficult to convince them spiritually. So, sadhu sangha, by association of sadhu, one can achieve advancement in spiritual life. Then in all shastras, it is recommended that associate. Chanakya Pandit, the great politician, you know, he also says, Taja durjana sangam, Taja durjana sangam, bhaja sadhu samagamam. Taja durjana sangam. Give up association with bad elements. What are the bad elements? That is also explained by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. A devotee asked him that what should be the behavior of a person who is spiritually inclined, or Vaishnava. Spiritually inclined means Vaishnava. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that asat sanga tyagi Vaishnavacha. Those who are interested in spiritual life or to become a devotee, the first business is to give up the association of bad elements. Asat sanga tyagi Vaishnavacha. In one line. The next question is, then who is asat? Asat akstri sangi Krishna bhakta. And there he has described who is asat. Stri sangi. Stri sangi means those who are unnecessarily addicted to women. Unnecessary. One should be married, one must have children. That is not illicit association. But otherwise, Krishna also says, dharma aviruddha kamasmi aham. Kama, lust, sex life, which is not against religious principle, that I am. That kind of lust I am. So, dharma, so according to religious system, people should not be cats and dogs or hogs in the matter of sex life. They must have regulated life, they must have married wife, married husband, and only for nice children they should unite. These are the description given by the Vimshati Prakar Dharma Shastra Manusangita, not otherwise. Therefore it is called Grihastha Ashram. Ashram. The Sannyasa Ashram, Grihastha Ashram, Vanaprastha Ashram, everything is ashram. We can understand as soon as this word is used, ashram, it means there is some spiritual tint or spiritual life. So, Grihastha, that is also spiritual life. One may live with wife and children and execute spiritual life. All the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are all Grihasthas. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself also was Grihastha. So, to become Grihastha is not a disqualification. But to live as a Grihastha, according to the injunction of the Shastra, that is required. That is Krishna says, dharma aviruddhakam, which is not against religious principle, that sort of lust I am. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, asatak stri sangi, that means one who is not satisfied, is, to say, religious life with wife. That kind, he is asadhu. He is asadhu. Krishna, Trisangi and Krishna abhav. He summarizes the description of asadhu in two words. One who is too much addicted to sense enjoyment, and one who is not a devotee of Krishna. He is asadhu. So, Krishna has also described that namang duskitanam mudha prapadante naradhama maya aparitagyana asuri bhavamasita. So there are many descriptions in many shastras that one should avoid asadhu and try to associate with sadhu. Then his life will be successful.